The Boys, Season 3, Episode 2, titled The Only Man in the Sky. And this episode, I found to be a better episode than Episode 1, mainly because it had better, flow editing. But for me, with this episode, what got me the most engaged and the most intriguing with this episode is what hooks me into this show. And that is, it's not the boys themselves. I find the boys to be the most uninteresting element of the show itself. For me, it's the world. It's the superheroes. It's the soups itself, where you're like, most of these characters are sociopaths, or just violent, or just messed up, or is dealing with something that just makes you intrigued with the world. And while you have Butcher, where people really like Butcher, I just find Butcher just as like one known character, or just one note character who's like heavily on like, I just want to kill Soups. She's a soup. That equals bad. Soup, soup, soup. But, him dropping the C word all the time, and I'm like, he's a very one known character for me. Then Homeland. Homeland has so much depth and so much variety and so many layers towards this character. How Anthony Starr plays Homeland is just fantastic. And this episode, like, clearly this is the season where Homelander does not care about his public image anymore. It's simply the whole thing of the public doesn't think highly of me, so I'm not going to think highly of them. I'm not going to be all high and mighty on my day. In the context of the show, it's Homelander's birthday. They're going to do an annual TV show about celebrating Homeland, how great Homeland is. But it's just, he keeps getting kicked in the balls on his special day. He keeps getting kicked in the balls. How he has to share the screen, the co-captain. How he needs with Starlight, and those two don't get along. I mean, to downgrade Starlight, he's like, here comes your backup dancers, and the backup dancers are female, sexy, cliche background dancers that would just make Starlight into a sex symbol and nothing more. And that's like, no, Starlight has, is trying to reflect more than just that, something to look up to, boys and girls and everyone alike. You got that. There's something that happens in nearly at the end that you just like, yeah, he's losing it. And he's just the layers and layers and layers. I just can't, I don't want to watch, but I kind of want to watch that scene some point in the series where he's like on a giant cow, or on top of a cow, which equals milk. And I know I'm just going to go, because I know how Homelander has a real hard on for milk anyway. But it's just, that's the thing. I find the mystery of Soldier Boy interesting. This weird this Captain America knockoff. What type of man was he? And already, like, I would kind of like how, like, they probably would have gone the Storm front route where we meet him, and he's this Captain America kind of knockoff character, and then we find out he has done all this horrible shit, or he is a horrible character. But point, they're like, we did that last season, let's not prepare, let's just say, yeah, this Soldier Boy wasn't that good a guy at all, and it wasn't just, he's a product of his time. It's like, no, this guy was a swear-off dick, even in his time. I like the Soldier Boy mystery. I like meeting, members of Payback, of that super team. I like all of those elements. And meeting Bucky, Soldier Boy's sidekick, and him basically being Bullseye, that was a neat little action sequence. And finding a little bit of information. And it clearly was Soldier Boy, and clearly them having home about uh, Jason Ackles being in the show. It feels like episode 3 will be the episode where he is on screen, on camera, showing his, showing how messed up Soldier Boy is. So I'm looking for that. It's just, I feel like the boys themselves are just pawns. They're just the next step. They're the story beats. They're the, okay, we want this to happen, but we need these characters to be there in that certain moment, and they're just they're vehicles. They're story vehicles, and not actual characters, and it kind of is a shame. But I do like my mess up superheroes, and God, they mess up